Hello, welcome to Rupaul Drag Race Season 7, Episode 8.
A queen will return, that's all we know.
It was Latrice.
It was, and I was so happy to see her doing the role as the corrections officer from Tuckahoe. Keep those nuts away from my face.
Before we get on anything, I started dying laughing as soon as the episode started off, and Amy Sulam just looks at Ginger Minge and says, "Who let Ben Franklin in the room?"
Yeah.
Well, if he would have just had those tiny little Harry Potter glasses,
Yes.
it would have been over.
Serving up historical fiction realness.
Well, while we're here at it, this is Stunning
I
Stephen,
should've
Brandon
named him.
Gonzalez, and our guest this week is, well, I guess not really a guest, you're more of our Drag Race star now. You're our Michelle Visage.
I am. I'm your Michelle Visage.
Amy Sulam.
Don't take pictures during the podcast.
We're not. Not this one especially. I didn't get all prettied up like I did. Oh, yeah, I did.
I deserve that.
Wearing
read.
the same sweatpants, I think. Back to the show.
The girls all came in. They're all discussing who's going to come back. Ginger says, I want Jasmine to come back because we can send her right back home. We can help her pack
I love
or
that.
whatever. But before we get into that, I kind of thought about it. I think we were all in agreement that of all the eliminated queens, we're okay with Max, Trixie, or Kasha, or Tempest coming back. But no one's fine with Sasha Bell, Candy Ho, or Mr. Ed coming back, which Jasmine Masters.
I didn't want to see Max come back either.
I felt like Max still had more to show. Like, when I saw that Max got eliminated, I said, why? I'm fairly confident that Jaden's going home the very next episode just because it just seemed like Jaden had nothing else to offer, and I felt like Max still could have shown just a little bit more. He probably would have just done another corset, but at least we got to see him in a corset with blonde hair, and they didn't look bad. But I was thinking about if a queen returns, I think it's just detrimental to the queen because you've missed Snatch Game, and that's the most important episode. If you miss Snatch Game, you can't be expected to win now because Snatch Game is the episode that sets you apart from everyone else, and
it
Ginger
does,
Minge.
and it shows your hosting abilities. I'm sorry, but it does because it shows your ability to think on your feet, be quick-witted, and whether or not you're a pageant queen or a whatever else queen, if you can't be funny, you can't host. If you can't host, you cannot work in drag.
You can't perform under pressure.
Yep.
And guess what?
Yeah,
Oh,
you have to be at least enough where you can get on your feet and have a quick comeback. Like I said, a lot of the drag race people talk about it's about fashion and this and that. No, bitch, it's about booking gigs at drag venues. And when you book a gig at drag venues, look at the princess. She hosts, and she's an amazing host. I would have her host any event that I have, any stand-up comedy, whether it's drag or not, because she is good at what she does. And I'm sorry, hosting and a little bit of stand-up is part of it if you want to work.
Yeah, like if you ever see other well-known queens, like people like Raja, she's not a good club queen. She's gone on to now try to sell her character on YouTube videos and this and that. But as a club queen, not so much. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard for some of these girls. Now, Latrice Royale popped in her Tuckahoe costume, where remember she won that episode back in season 4 with the "Get the nuts away from my face."
Yeah. To the delight of everyone, I think, in the viewing audience. We're so happy to see her.
We're just glad the Tuckahoe prison is still
open,
up and running, and the mini challenge was called "Orange is the New Drag."
Love
it. It was a fun little challenge where the girls all got the orange jumpsuits, and they had to make it into, their tacky prison hoe outfit.
And this, I thought,
Jaden came out.
Ginger was good, and so did Jaden.
She came out predictable. I feel like because she did the thing with the barbed wire before, and then she came out.
Yeah, she should just grab that and put that back on.
She came out. I feel like a little predictable.
I don't remember it.
It's not a read. It's just like she went with what I feel like was obvious.
She did at least try to sell it by dancing and she kept the camera on her.
Yes.
Like other girls just walked in and then walked back off. Some of my favorites, I thought Violet always does good. Her does well. Her outfit.
She shut it down.
She shut it down, and she had the earring, handcuffs. Yeah. But I did think, I remember I was looking at it and I said, Kennedy with just the ashy neck and the ashy knees. RuPaul's gonna love that because RuPaul just kind of goes for that. So I knew, I was like, Kennedy's gonna get this. And then
she should just come out as powder. Oh wait, that was Max.
Yeah, but the Tuckahoe fashion show went okay. That was fun, and it's what we predicted was going to happen. That all the queens were going to come back and be paired up with a current queen, and the winner would come back. So everyone came back. We had Tempest, Kasha, Trixie, Candy Ho, Jasmine, Max.
I thought everyone that was... I know. I thought everybody was paired. They all looked alike, except for Jade. Well, maybe not Sasha Bell and Ginger. But Jaden and Tempest, bless their heart.
That was a setup. Kennedy did that, and I think she did it like... I'm a little bit like, you're drinking haterade on that one. Like, she did that intentionally.
I'm fairly certain that the producers came up to Kennedy and said, when you pair them up, make sure Trixie and Pearl are together, and make sure, like, Violet and Max are together, and then, fuck anyone else up. Because I don't know why you would team up Trixie and Pearl when they mentioned that they've known each other and they love it. But, like, you would want to set them up with the weirdest pairings of all. Like, Kennedy set it up to where Trixie's coming back. Yeah. Which wouldn't make sense, but...
It's got to be producer fairies.
Yeah, they're behind the scenes there. So we have to do the Conjoined Queens. Very interesting concept. It's I think this is one of the better makeover challenges, because every season you have a makeover challenge. The first season you had the female athletes. The second season was the older men that you had to make into your mother. Third season you had the jocks and frocks, and you had the daddies. Season 5 was veterans, I think.
The husbands was 6.
The veterans.
No, season 5, Jinx Monsoon had the veterans, and then season last year was the wives. Yeah, the wives. So I think this one was a better challenge because it was other drag queens. And so that way we didn't have to meet a new cast of like 6 guys who we're not going to see ever again, so we don't have to become worried about that. Yeah.
I was disappointed that nobody did Joined at the Head.
I wrote that down because you said it, and I completely agree. No one went for that. That would have been awesome.
I think Kasha and...
they did Joined at the Vagina.
No, yeah, they should have done... Well, I guess that was funnier.
But especially if you're going to do a beauty queen, I'm sorry, y'all can both share a tiara. You can...
One tiara.
One tiara, and you can take wigs, trust me, I know what I'm talking about, and tease it from the front and make it look like one piece of hair. Not that I fuck with wigs all the time, but I do. But I was sad that nobody, because that's really a chance, especially if you're doing face-to-face connecting. Let's not play like nobody's got latex in their makeup bag. That was a chance to show your makeup artist skills.
I would have hated to have had to sit in that dark room in the I guess the Untucked Lounge is not the absolute room anymore, but I'd hate to sit like that all the time, all night wait for them to make a decision.
Yeah, but I feel like that was a letdown.
They missed an opportunity. A lot of them went very safe.
All of them went really safe. Cause
I felt that the laziest one was Jaden and Tempest, just walking in a single file.
Yeah, with that caterpillar tit that they had. I'm like, is that the hungry caterpillar?
Well, I like the idea of being attached to the boobs, but I thought they should have just been a 3-boob lady. Like, they shared a boob. I thought that's what they were going to do, and that would have been funny. And they could have put, like, a little pasty on it or something, so that third boob is just an exposed little pasty boob, and I thought that would have been cool. And then they could have been attached so they only have 2 arms, 3 boobs. I thought that would have been good. 4 legs or 3 legs. But
the way it was done, it looked like one of those tunnels at the McDonald's playground. Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah, so
it was weird they had to lip sync in the Conjoined too.
And who kept scissors on? Who has scissors on them?
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that at all.
I actually thought that it was unfair for them to lip sync Conjoined because you realize that 2 of those people on that stage aren't fighting for anything anymore. Tempest and Sasha, it's like, oh, we're just going back to the hotel. Fuck it, I don't care. So I thought that wasn't fair to the queens. But Kennedy picked all the partners.
I was happy to see Tempest back, mostly.
Yeah, we got to see Tempest. Tempest got to tell us her story about doing the straight camp or whatever the
pray the gay away. The therapy, the pray the gay away.
He's got a Mormon background, so
I can't tell. I have to tell you, I was impressed at the esteem that Tempest still had for her mother when talking about going through that straight conversion therapy. Because if that had been somebody in my family, I would have been like, fuck. You would have broke them out.
You would have broke them out.
I would have been like, I don't give a shit what my parents think anymore. signs their kids up for torture. I could go off on a whole tangent about that. I won't, but conversion therapy is any parent who does that, like, you fucking deserve to be locked up, and you don't deserve to get your kid. That's an amazing kid that they can survive that and still have respect for you.
Oh, and then Trixie had his story about
his stepdad, and
yeah.
I loved that backstory about how the stepdad called him Trixie as an insult, and he took it back and turned it into his drag name. Round of applause for the strength.
That was awesome, and that was
takes.
great that he made the point that, you know, I didn't even realize that there was anything wrong. It just, this was all you knew. So it's hard for these young kids growing up with these abusive situations, and that's just the norm to you. You don't even realize that this isn't right.
Yes, and seriously, if you're a kid and you're being abused, hit me up on Twitter because I will adopt the shit out of you.
Oh, I forgot to plug you. At Amy Sulam.
On Twitter, if you...
/ adoption agency.
Yeah.
Hashtag adoption agency.
Absolutely, yeah. Hit me up, hashtag adoption agency, because I will take in any abused youth. I'm a gypsy. We just throw kids on a pile. You live in a pile of fist-fighting trash, but you won't be abused for being gay. And I feel like that's what we need to focus on.
All right, well, let's talk about the pairings. We had Kennedy and Jasmine, which seemed like a safe bet for her. We had Ginger, Midge, and Sasha, which sent out red flags as soon as I saw that. Pearl and Trixie, which I thought, Kennedy, you just handed the win over.
Yep.
You had Fame and Candy, which,
Why
whatever.
is Fame still here?
We'll get on that in a moment. We had Katya and Kasha, which I was excited for. I knew they were going to do well. Violet and Max, which I was also excited for. And then you had Jaden and Tempest, which just seemed like just the oddest pairing of all.
I like their story about the whorish mother in the disco era.
Yeah. I would have done, if I was them, I would have pulled out all the stops. That's who I would have done connected at the head. And you could have had Tempest lean over like, your neck might be hurting, but bitch, you're back. So...
I really would have wished that Ginger and Tempest would have been the twins, and they could have just reenacted the film Twins, and Tempest could have been Arnold, and Ginger would have been Danny DeVito right there, done. We're twins. But no, that only happened in my mind. During the workroom area, nothing much happened. Max and Violet were going to be the corset twins, which Kennedy was like, we get it, you're skinny. Whatever.
Ginger.
Fame went on a random ass ramble like always and couldn't get the damn joke about her
the
head.
thing. I'm glad somebody finally explained that to her.
I'm sure Candy Ho in the back goes, they talk about your dick sucking. Like, oh, like now I get it. So.
Oh yeah, I haven't had any complaints. I love Ginger was busy making the outfits while Sasha Bell screwed off, and also Ginger was trying to like draft the Constitution. So I don't know why. Like, she had so much pressure on her.
Yeah, Sasha Bell was just running around like, girl, how's it been for you? Were you surprised when we came back? Just having conversations.
And nobody gives a shit about Sasha. You were a non-motherfucking factor the second you walked in the door. Please.
The only reason they brought Sasha Bell on was because apparently she's like a super fan. And I think they wanted to show fans that, like, hey, you can make it on the show. And that's why they didn't send her home the first episode, because they didn't want to discourage the fan base.
Look, by the way, not that I'm plugging anything, but I am kind of plugging. Bible Girl 666 needs to be on season 8. If you don't follow her on Instagram, you need to. She's the shit. Like, she needs to be a season 8 thing.
What's her thing?
Today, Satan.
Today, Satan. Exactly.
On tonight,
Satan. Yeah, no, she is gag worthy. She has an aesthetic that's just, it's Sharon Needles if she cleaned up and fucked Pearl and fucked Max.
Can we do that as well?
And yeah. If Pearl, Max, and Sharon Needles and Detox all had an orgy and had a baby, it would be Bible Girl 666, and she's fucking, her aesthetic.
Well, take the Detox out of the equation, and we're down for it.
Well, I'm saying she does some like really severe shadowing that's like
fantastic.
She was classic. She's just look her up. Please look her up on Instagram. She's amazing. Like,
all right, well, we're gonna move on to the runway.
Yes.
Now, the runway challenge, they came out in this order. It was Fame and Candy, and they were doing the plastic surgery.
So snoozeworthy.
It was very basic.
Well, it wasn't they were conjoined twins. It was like they stapled themselves together.
Yeah, why don't
So
you
it
get some
could've-
Starbucks and some Uggs to go with that and get the fuck out of here?
We weren't gagging on. As soon as they walked out, I was like, okay, well, thank God Candy's not coming back.
Two
Next
queens
out
who
the
can't
gate, you had Jaden and Tempest, and I just wrote down Disco Blunder.
Oh, God.
It was bad because as soon as they walked up, and you were thinking, why are they doing front and back? Did they not look in a mirror first and go, this doesn't look right, we need to be attached somewhere else?
I get the
Well,
fucking head. Disco
Fuck. I don't know how strong Tempest is, but she looks like she's strong. They should just jumped on the bitch's back, did like a quado thing or something.
Be a wrecking ball. And
That's
be
what I thought. If I was
Macklemore.
doing it and I had a smaller person, I would have them strapped to my back where they're not even touching the ground.
Now we have a Halloween costume idea.
I thought it would be a good idea if they just put on a giant gown and they act like they're sharing a shoulder.
Yes.
Like the American Horror Story. I mean, you would really have to sell that, but no one did that. So whatever. The Disco Blunder did not pay off. Then you had Kennedy and Jasmine, and they were clearly just being pageant queens, minus a sash or crown, or it was just them being themselves.
I'm glad Kennedy didn't win something.
They were like, it's Cotton Club realness. And I'm like, no. Here's the difference in you and Dorothy Dandridge. Dorothy Dandridge gave a fuck, showed up, and was talented and stood out in her era. So please don't invoke that name, you basic bitch.
I realize now I don't think I like Kennedy. I did.
Cleveland.
In the first few episodes, I'm really upset the more I think about it that she won a Snatch Game being a man. Because that has really opened the door up now for anybody else to come in.
Well, Kennedy...
And Kennedy, other than going, woo,
shut up!
That was
I rewatched Snatch Game, and I realized, oh my god, Ginger Minge was the best. And there was this one part where Kennedy goes, woo, and Adele goes, woo, like she's trying to do it too, but while she's eating food, it was hilarious. It's just that early on, Rue likes to bring someone like Chad Michaels, someone who is polished, someone who will make it to the end, and she likes to have that person like a Courtney Act or something. And I think this year, she's like, well, Kennedy Davenport can do splits and backflips and stuff like that, so we'll just keep her around and we'll let her come to the end. So they've been trying to give her wins, and they gave her a bad win on episode 4 for no reason, for the t-shirt and a haircut, whatever that's
Yeah. It chaps my ass to no end that she was talking about Cotton Club tonight and doing Cotton Club realness and Miss Dorothy Dandridge, and I think it's because I don't get down with the basic bitch shit. Like, I don't put Marilyn Monroe up on a pedestal. Hate me if you want to. Hit me up on Twitter for that. But
Marilyn.
but I do put Dorothy Dandridge on a pedestal because she had a lot of shit to overcome, and I'm like, ooh, to take somebody who like really was an icon and say you're trying to evoke that while doing blonde streaks. Dorothy Dandridge would have never done blonde. Check your history, bitch. She'd have never done it. And I was just like, oh, no, ma'am.
I'm surprised Rue Michelle didn't call her outfit.
I was about to go gypsy on it, and I was like, it's Dottie. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
All right. Well, next up, we have Pearl and Trixie. With Trixie being the ugly duckling sister. So they got entered in the pageant, and obviously Pearl's the perfect daughter with the beautiful face, and then she's got that one sister. Hello, esteemed judges.
That was funny.
It was funny. They actually did tell the best story. They had a great story.
We all got that one sibling who just doesn't quite match. For me, it's my oldest brother, Aaron. He's ugly. He's smart.
But everyone's trying to encourage that one. Like, you're just as pretty as Pearl. You're fine. Enter it together. It'll be good.
I think that was me, actually.
I can't wait to tag my brother in this when we post it and be like, I called you ugly.
We all enjoyed it.
Show me a picture. Oh, he is ugly. No, I'm just kidding. There was no picture. Yes.
You don't need to see it. He'll break his phone on a selfie. I mean, I love you, boo, but you are ugly.
Well, we all enjoyed them, and Trixie was making sure that she tried to steal the limelight, steal the spotlight, which, Michelle was like, that's not good for you, Pearl, but it was because they were playing those characters. Pearl, if Trixie does good, Pearl does good in that team challenge. It's not like they were going to go, hey, by the way, we're judging you as individuals now.
I like how Ross Matthews did that. Saved them. He seems to save everybody on these. I don't agree, Michelle.
Well, because Michelle Visage is just a sniper. She's out there just about to blow you away no matter what. You could come out in the world's greatest outfit and like
she liked Max tonight. I think Violet and Max look great. Is that where we're going?
She liked Max, but
yeah,
she knew...
next up was Violet and Max.
they looked amazing.
And when I first saw them, at first, I was like, wait, which one's which?
Right.
I was like, I don't care. They both look beautiful.
Amazing.
They were in sync on their walk.
Which shows that if Max just had a little more creativity, Max could be stunning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Violet Chachki is amazing. Violet Chachki is the most consistent person this season, and Max, just by being with her, looked the most beautiful she's looked all season. Mm-hmm. She finally didn't look like a boy. She finally... Because I always said that Max wears more makeup in boy mode, and then when he gets into girl mode, he just puts on a wig and does a little spot.
No,
And I remember it was Katie Davenport or somebody was making fun of her going, she spent 2 hours doing makeup. What the... She came out and it's just Max in a gray wig and a little mo. It's the truth. But I thought they did great.
They didn't have a story.
They didn't have a story, but I thought they looked the best, but
they were beat for the gods though. You can't come for their mug. Like, they were amazing. Those mugs were beat the fuck.
And seeing Max in a blonde wig, you're like, wow, who is this?
I didn't think it was blonde. I thought it was white.
No, it was blonde.
No,
they were both blonde.
It was blonde.
You're colorblind, Steven. We haven't told you this. Alright, well...
How would I know what blonde was? or that it was different? Never mind.
We just been letting you go with it. Next up, we had Ginger Minge and Sasha Bell. I already knew going into it, whoever probably had Sasha Bell was going to be in the bottom two.
I would have been so pissed off for Ginger.
Yeah.
If she got sent out, I would have been so angry.
Yeah.
And they came out with the combined at the tits, which
the McDonald's tube toy and thing.
I mean, they're jumping rope with it. I don't know what's going on. It was just
the thickest double Dutch rope ever on the drag
they
runway.
should have just been combined at one tit. I just don't get, because they cut themselves off from movement,
and it was clearly flesh colored, like, because you could see when they were cutting it off with the scissors.
Oh, yeah.
They had taken it down. Like, fucking take your piece of styrofoam, take your Krylon, paint it that color, and throw. And even if you can't do a full titty, do like one massive piece of cleavage, and put your hand through one arm. What the fuck?
We saw Ginger do a pasty once, so just have this one giant pasty boob hanging out. That would have been hilarious.
So I think
they were doing some Peggy Bundy realness or something.
Yeah, like I said, I would have been so angry about that. Ginger is the one in the first episode I thought, oh, this girl's not going to be a hero.
Oh, you thought she was going to be fodder.
Yeah.
And then...
well, a lot of people thought that with Jinx Monsoon.
Man, that's all. James Bond Jr.?
With Jinx Monsoon.
Oh.
I thought, let me tell you, I thought the same thing with Jinx Monsoon. I thought she's going to be gone soon. Like, she
was like a Pandora box. Like, you're not going to win. You're just here until the other queens step it up. But now you realize, I think now the strategy is you come in, you can lay under the radar, but you have to make it the Snatch game, and you have to wow at Snatch. Once you wow at Snatch, you're guaranteed a spot. I don't know why Ben de la Creme got sent.
Yeah, I was just about to say Ben de la Creme. Darian Lake had no business in the top 4.
That Java outfit she wore.
My 2 kids are still mad about Darian Lake. Like, they're like, my 8-year-old and my 12-year-old will not let that go. They were like, she's gross, she has no talent, her backstory came on, and Nolly goes, BOOHOO. Nobody cares.
You were saying something about a backstory. Is this a new?
Well, like when they talk about their upbringing and how they had a hard time or whatever, it's like
coming out stories.
Yeah, it's
like on the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like lots of people, and I think some queens do get picked because their backstory is relatively traumatic. Check out Paul Blart video.
Let's finish the last look. The last person out was Katya and Miss Kasha Davis, and they were doing the Atlantic City Whores.
Yeah,
they were the slut machines.
I loved it. I loved it. I was living for it.
I love Kasha Davis. I would love.
I love that somebody had 2 identical wigs.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had the same outfits, and then I loved how they were the ones that really thought, because you had the combined at the tits. They go, let's get combined at the vaginas, but we're selling all our other organs.
I thought all of them except for Jaden and Tempest had identical wigs.
It's one thing. I guess the queens came in and you just sit down and go, what do we have that matches? And I feel like everybody's got blonde wigs, everybody's got brown wigs, everybody's got these. But to have the red with the Sharon Osbourne hair, like, I felt like that was really unique, and I love that they like Fraggle Rock worked it out. Like I like that hair, and I like them. They were both of them knew how to play a drunk old crazy bitch, and being a drunk old crazy bitch, I know that it takes work to get there.
Well, that's something I've been noticing about Katya is that she actually plays that character well, and like she did it for the tan. She played the same character almost. It's that same bitch, but at the beach after she separated her sister.
Yep.
And I feel like she needs to start playing these characters more. But I think she's afraid to because she doesn't want to get typecast. But when she plays a young girl, she doesn't do it well. But when she plays the older bitches, it's hilarious.
Anywho, so I would have liked to have seen Katya Davis stay, and I really liked his and Katya's slut.
I was so torn on this episode because I didn't know who I wanted to win because a part of me really wanted Katya, a part of me wanted Max, and then a part of me was like, well, you have to give it to Trixie.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about Trixie,
this episode was catered to her 100%.
Yes,
I actually think that there's clearly been a conspiracy going on because Trixie, first of all, she's been all over social media since she was eliminated. She's been talking about, I can't believe I got sent home by a robotic girl, blah, 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 this and that. And it kind of was like, well, hold on a second, someone's coming back. So she was saying that knowing she's coming back.
Yep.
So she's been playing the audience.
Yep.
And then she missed Snatch Game. And she would have been someone we would have liked to seen at Snatch Game.
Yep.
And she just posted a video of one of her candidates for Snatch Game, which the producers told her, absolutely not. You can't do it. Don't even bring the outfit. And it was Anne Frank.
Yep.
She was thinking about doing Anne Frank. And if you watch the video, it's actually really funny.
It's really funny.
She wouldn't have won, but it was...
She looks just the same as she does all the time, though. That's one thing I don't like about her.
Yeah, she does the
the whole eyes.
Let me just say, before anybody comes for it, like, I'm Jewish. My grandmother's a Holocaust survivor. That's, whatever. There isn't anything about her video that was offensive to me. I don't understand where the producers were coming out with that. I am someone who's very pro...
Where the producers are coming from, they can't say she-male anymore.
Yeah. I'm very pro-equality, and I feel like equality means we don't put anybody on a pedestal. Everybody is equal to be made fun of. Everything can be a joke. If you can do George Washington or accidentally look like Ben Franklin, then you can do Anne Frank. And it wasn't that she was doing anything that was offensive to Anne Frank's memory. She wasn't doing anything that's offensive to Jewish people. I just don't get it. That actually, to me, as a Jew, that's more offensive that you're trying to treat us with kid gloves because we don't need it. The people who would get up in arms about it don't even watch the fucking show. So, I just don't see it. But there's, even with the she-male thing, I'm like, if you can
I guess I haven't thought about them not saying that.
Yeah, well, if you can take getting your wiener cut off, you can probably take a joke. And, I mean, I dated a girl who's transgender woman. Like, I think treating people with kid gloves is unnecessary. Now, I will...
It's also more offensive.
Yeah, it's more offensive because why do we get set apart in a special thing? And I say...
Alright, so we're back to the episode. We discussed everyone's looks. Now, looking at it, we all agreed that either Kasha and Katya or the Pearl and Trixie were going to win, and we were really torn about which one should win. At the same time, we had three that were like, one of these are going up, and we knew either Ginger.
Yep. We
knew that either Fame or Jaden. Now, you knew Jaden was in the bottom no matter what. Just because, I'm sorry, 3 times in a row.
They're not getting rid of Fame. What the fuck? She cannot...
I wrote that down. It just said, keep saving Fame, ?
Yeah.
Keep saving Fame. And this...
We got into this last week about... I said the same thing about Alaska. So they kept saving Alaska and just...
She's becoming Alaska because they think that she's going to be fun as a top 3 who never has to lip sync. But this is becoming detrimental to her character because she's not funny. And this is making her character become weak. It's kind of like... Courtney Act was a great competitor, but because she never really ended up in the bottom, when it came to the end, people were just in love with Adore and they were in love with Bianca, and it's like, oh, Courtney, you're just sort of here. Fame is just sort of there. Her character isn't growing. If she did a lip sync, maybe she could win a fan or two, but
I can tell
happening.
you when you win RuPaul's Drag Race, you have to go out and do drag shows. And watermelon motherfucker,
elephant shoes, yeah,
elephant shoes does not make you a good queen. I'm sorry. There's nothing about Fame that makes me want to go see her at a club.
She's not a superstar to me.
Other than the fact that she's been on TV, but I don't want to watch her on stage. I want to see Trixie on stage. I want to see Pearl on stage.
I want to see Tempest on stage.
I want to see
Kasha
fucking
Davis.
Violet Chachki on stage with the
22 years old. She's only gonna get better from here.
She does the aerial silks apparently, where she does all the acrobatics and hangs and flips around in the air and shit. Now you need to check. You need to check out those videos.
I love
on
you, Violet
YouTube.
Chachki.
I'm already obsessed with Violet, so I don't need to know that.
Oh my god, let me tell you, there's everything about that makes me want to go see her at a club. Fame, I'm like, okay, you can walk a runway and you can Dr. Phil talk my fucking head off. Give me
Fame
something
should
else.
be paid for is just to show up to a club and hang out at the club and like talk to people there about chickens and shit. You don't need to be on the stage. You just need to be at the club, walking around like how they used to pay Paris Hilton and them to come to the club. Just do that because you're not
let
a
the
personality.
let the adults go on stage and entertain.
Last year, though, the final four had to do that lip sync. Remember? Mm-hmm. And
I think they're gonna do that again.
I think they will, but I think that's how. First off,
this is gonna be the closest season ever, without a doubt. I mean, except for the fact that Violet's way miles ahead of everyone, but.
Yeah,
I'm
Violet predicting
and Ginger.
Violet is the
I think the
winner.
fact that Violet was funny in Snatch Game just solidified her.
I think it's Violet,
If she couldn't have
Ginger.
been funny, then you can't win.
Because she wasn't relying on that body, yaddy, yaddy.
I think it'll be Violet, Ginger, and Trixie. Now, I think it's unfair for Trixie.
Trixie's not gonna
I think it's unfair for her to be back. I always hate when they bring queens back. Because, like Ginger said, these people had their chance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Pearl should have gone home anyways, but Pearl's cool now, so it's okay. I think it's
And
going
I
to be
like Pearl's
Ginger,
big
Violet, and maybe Kennedy for some reason. Because
Kennedy.
Producers are clearly saving Kennedy. Even though Kennedy wasn't the funniest in Snatch Game, they go, fuck it, you get a win too.
Oh,
So
she got a participation trophy.
I think it was so stupid because now they've opened the door for any of these guys to just do guy actors.
Well, let's talk about that real quick because I thought about the girls that missed Snatch Game and what could have they done. And when I was looking at it, I thought, well, Tempest du Jour looks like Michael McDonald. He could have just done Stewart. Since now anyone can do boy, he could have been, let me do it.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Candy Ho, I guess, Sofia Vergara, I don't know. Puerto Ricans are limited.
You know what, the Puerto Rican, somebody, and you were right when you said it, Brandon, the Puerto Rican queens, especially the ones who struggle with English, they need to do Sofia Vergara. Like, she plays the same character. She's in a fucking movie playing her Modern Family character. Like, do that.
I don't want to jail. No, Mira, no.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Fuck it. Here's our money. We love you.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say the same thing. I'd be like, shut up and take my money.
Gosh, but then you have Sasha Bell. Don't care what she would have done.
Oh, God. Sasha Bell. I don't care if she walks off a
I don't
fucking
even know.
bridge.
What would she have done in Snatch Game? Lose? Go home? Kasha Davis could
I
have
gotta
done
say, he
Joan
was
Rivers.
so
Exactly.
boring.
Well, and Jasmine Masters. What would have Jasmine Masters have done?
Wilbur.
I'm Diana Ross. You realize someone was in the bottom two when they did Diana Ross.
No, she
I'm
would
Diana Ross.
have. She would have done Seabiscuit.
Winner.
I don't like Jasmine Masters.
I thought that was so weird.
She has a I'm Paris Hilton attitude with a I'm Lindsay Lohan's butthole face.
But I'm gonna pack
sorry.
my bags because they don't get me. They don't understand me. I'm gonna go ahead and pack my bags.
Yeah, no, they do get you. They get that you're an ugly bitch, and you're trying. Like, I hate it.
They want to get you out.
Yeah, I hate when ugly girls try to play like they're pretty. Like, play up your comedy. Don't come in here trying to be a pageant
She
queen.
didn't have comedy.
Well,
they were climbing a wall.
So the bottom two ended up being Ginger and Jaden. We knew Jaden was going to be there, but we were wondering, are they going to finally put Fame down there, or are they going to keep saving her?
No, they're not going to put Fame down there.
They've been saving her. So
Ginger was awesome.
It was Ginger down there, and the song was I Think We're Alone. I'm like, oh, yay, a song that I've heard. Thank God, because I was worried that they were just going to keep, low budgeting these songs.
You know what? I'd have done Two of Hearts. I would have Two.
They already did
of
Two of Hearts.
God damn
and
it.
that was Morgan McMichael sending Sonique home. Steven, put your pants back on. Stop. Don't applaud Morgan McMichael.
Don't you dare
You're
applaud that
the only
treasure
person who's
troll.
attracted to the treasure troll.
To the treasure troll.
I think
Steven likes Morgan because
I think
it's
it's
good luck.
beautiful.
Beautiful. Well, that was that episode, and I liked the episode. I thought it was a great idea. I hope they start bringing former queens back. I've always thought it was a good idea. If they
No,
bring,
I hate when they do that stuff.
No,
I
I
like
mean
it.
just
I'm
for
with
the
Brandon.
challenges.
Oh.
I think it'd be fun if, like, next season they have to make over former winners. Like all the former winners come on and
ma'am.
or something like that. That could be
That would be awesome.
or just stuff like that. Or first eliminated queens come back.
Yep.
And then they all fight
Like you got
for a
Pork
chance
Chop
because
and-
I always felt like some of those queens didn't get a fair shake. Chandler's the only one who, for some reason, they really gave her a fair
It's
shake.
Shangela. Hallelujah.
I think it'd be fun if they brought back, I hated her, but Serena Chacha. Just to stir the fucking cauldron.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're opening the door for this, so from now on, because the show has to start jumping the shark anyways. Because
Well, they can't
running
really
out of
afford
ideas.
many
Yeah.
other celebrities now, so.
Yeah, they're starting to run out of ideas anyway, so they're going to have to start jumping the shark and their own. They've created their own celebrities off the show, like Alyssa Edwards. She has announced. Why isn't she a judge yet?
Yeah.
Like, why isn't she coming on
Why
there
is Leanne Rhymes
and
there?
clocking people? Yeah, why is Leanne Rhymes there, but not Alyssa Edwards going, she didn't wear nails, she's in the bottom two.
Yep.
Alyssa, you can't put her in the bottom two because she didn't wear nails. Bottom two, honey. Like,
Yeah.
what? Alyssa, no.
Alyssa's secret is her Vietnamese nail lady.
Ling Shui.
I'm sitting on
It's
it.
9 inches and hard, but it's on her pointer finger. Like, yes, ma'am.
Thank God she's not a pointer sister. God, there would have been some lame lip syncs if she.
She'd
Alright.
be pointing to China and shit on a map.
Well, that was.
And thank you. We'll all say a farewell to our Nashville friend here, Jaden.
Jaden, oh, yes.
Thanks for the entertainment.
You made it farther than any other Nashville queen.
Yes, congratulations on that.
Yes, Mazel Tov.
You're technically in 7th place. They shouldn't have brought anybody back, not 8th. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Whatever.
I agree. And I can say with all honesty that both of my little girls will cry tomorrow when they watch this on Amazon.
Just turn it off before it gets to the...
Well, I feel bad because she gets to be Dita Ritz now because Dita Ritz was like, I'm top 5. It's like, no, you're 6 and now Kenya's 5 top 5. Kenya Mako. It's like really
God.
gross.
Yeah.
But,
Well, let's sign
at
off.
least it's Trixie, though.
Everything BS. Sign off. Fame, how's your head?
Got no complaints.
It's good.
It's good.
Ah.